Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Nick. In today's episode, I'm going to kind of explain my story, explain my past, and what I got going on now. For my family watching, if some of the things are out of context, I apologize. It's just how I'm remembering off the top of my head. I don't really like to write down notes or stuff before I make a video. I like everything to be authentic to myself. Um, I don't really know where to start this. I'm kind of thinking about it for a little while. I've recorded this like 4 times already, and I don't really know where to start, so I'm gonna try again. Um, so from what I remember at first is I grew up in a divorced household. I'm pretty sure from my birth I had not, or I'm pretty no from birth. Let me rephrase that. From birth, I grew up with my mom and dad being divorced. So that alone, that starts like a struggle within itself. I don't remember it too much, to be completely honest, with you. I mean, who really remembers that stuff? Um, from the things that I've been told growing up, I was in foster care for a little while. I'm not really sure the whole backstory behind that or what all happened with that, but from what I know, I was in foster care for a little while. But after that, from what I can remember, growing up with my mom, we never really had anything. We were pretty poor. I'll be honest, we were pretty poor. I grew up with her and my stepdad. I don't want to put a lot of people's names in this because I don't want people to get mad or anything. I don't want to start any conflict in my family. But it wasn't really the best of times. I've seen a lot of things between them. I've seen domestic abuse a lot between them. And that kind of builds up some of the story that I'm going to tell you guys. Some of the reasons, the way I acted, the way I did, the the reason I did some of the things I did. Um, but anyways, after that, that was a. I think I lived with my mother and my stepdad till I was around 10. I want to say that could be wrong. That could be wrong. I want to say it's around 10, but in between those times, it was we were broke. Um, we never had TV from what I remember or internet. It was just something that we just didn't have. I didn't really grow up in a traditional household, I guess you'd say, with a loving mother and a loving father, and then everything you could ever want, like internet, cable. We were born in like an old-fashioned way. If we wanted to have fun, we went outside. If we wanted to play a video game, we'd get creative. If I, you know, it wasn't like I'd get home and I'd have the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, or get home and put on some cartoon show. It was more of get home and entertain yourself to a point. We had food. We did have food. I mean, I'm alive now, so obviously we had food. But between that relationship right there between my stepdad and my mom, I've seen a lot of domestic abuse, and seen a lot of my mom getting torn down and just heartbreaks, and just that stuff. But eventually what happened in that whole situation is my mother had taken us. We were gonna move in with my grandma out in Tennessee, and eventually my father had what did he do? My father had charged. I can't remember. I don't know like the exact word for it, to be completely honest with you. He had told the cops that my mother had kidnapped us. Kind of broke a custody agreement. I could be wrong about that again. Like I said in the beginning, some of the stuff might be wrong because I don't remember exactly. But yeah, we my mom ended up finding that out. We had to hide. Imagine being 7, 8, 9 years old and hiding from the cops. You know, scary. I mean, it really is. And mom says, "Hey, you have to go in the closet," or "Hey, you have to go," and wherever she had us go, because I can't remember exactly. that's it's pretty scary when you're just a little kid. Um, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm really nervous right now, so I really apologize for like me mumbling and getting some stuff wrong. But it's just this is just one of my ways of coping with things. So I hope you guys understand. Anyways, from that whole kidnap situation, my stepdad had ended up going to jail, if I'm not mistaken, for threatening my dad in court. My mom had went to jail, and then I moved in with my father and his wife. Um, and that when you're a kid and you go through something like that, like a change like that, it kind of tears you. It does, and it's something that I'm never gonna forget because my mom was like Superman to me. You know, she was invincible. Nothing could break her, and seeing my mom go through the pain she went through in that situation kind of it set a tone for even to the way I am now. Um, it wasn't easy at all. After I moved in with my dad's, things did get better over time. They did. I ended up going to a better school. I ended up having more stuff, internet, cable, and all that type of stuff. But when you go through that type of stuff, it kind of breaks you down mentally. It makes you feel like your mom doesn't love you, if that makes sense. And I know it doesn't make sense now that I know what happened, but growing up, I'm like, damn, like my mom just got rid of me, She and it's not the case. That's not what happened, but it hurts, It makes you feel like she doesn't love you or that you did something wrong and now she doesn't want you around. Yeah, but anyways, at my dad's house, I did it. It was good for a little while. I'm gonna be honest, it was good for a little while. We ended up going on visitations with my mom every other week, supervised visits. So I mean, it wasn't really anything crazy. You just kind of go in a room with your mother, and there's people watching you guys for a couple hours, and then you don't see for 2 weeks again. But that right there, it kind of set a tone for me. It made me bad. It made me a bad kid. The more I realized what was going on in my life, the more I realized how much I was alone, how much I felt alone, because I did. In a nutshell, I didn't really think that anybody really cared about me, But when my dad did the whole kidnap thing, it was me, my brother, and my sister, and my little half brother. I want to say I can't remember exactly where my half brother went. His name is Peanut, by the way. But me, my older brother, and my older sister, we went to move with my dad at that point, so it was just us three there. My sister, she had ended up getting kicked out pretty fast, if I'm not mistaken. And so really it was just me and my brother. We shared a room together in the basement. So within that time, me and my older brother, we got very close. And we're still close to this day, actually. He's not here right now, but we have an apartment together, actually. But if there was any arguments or fights, he was there for me. He was there to be like, just be by my side. That's the only person I really had by my side, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't go out that much. I've never really been a social person though. But the more you are around my father, the more you realize he's not a good person. I've seen him abuse my brothers and sisters. I've seen him abuse my stepmom. And if you've ever been through that, you know that that causes a lot of trauma in your life, especially when you're telling people about it and nobody believes you. Like, oh, not my Brian, or oh, he would never do that. Um, that right there is probably where most of my trauma does come from. I've seen him throw glass ashtrays. I've seen him kick doors in. I've seen him choke my brother and slam him, and then like punch a wall or something, break his hand or gush his hand all up, and then say that we caused it or hit himself, you know. But after my dad's, I did end up getting kicked out. Me and my brother ended up getting kicked out eventually. I got kicked out. My dad was accusing me of smoking in the house, and I didn't. I never smoked in the house. I smoked outside. Actually, I lied. I did get caught once smoking in the house in the basement out the window. I did. I remember that now. But after I had moved out, I had started. You think about a lot of things. What was going on in that house? You know, what wasn't I really noticing when I was younger, growing up in there? It turns out that my dad, he was a drug dealer. I don't know exactly all the things he sold or anything like that. I'm not really gonna get into that because I don't want to put the wrong things out there. But my dad was a drug dealer. He got himself in a lot of situations. I've heard of a lot of things of him owing people money or him owing people things, and then it going south for him. I'm gonna mention too. I did have some great stepbrothers and sisters there too. I did. I posted on Facebook how to make this podcast, and Hannah's gonna murder me if I don't say it. But I did have some great stepbrothers and sisters. They did. They helped us a lot through that whole experience. They did. But anyways, after I moved out of my dad's, I had ended up moving back into my mom's. I'm a freshman in high school at this time. It's towards the end of the year. So I went from a pretty good school, to be honest. I went from a pretty good school to horrible school. I became a very bad kid at that point. I started stealing, smoking, weed, cigarettes, failing school, and just a lot of things I'm not really proud of. I'm not proud of the person I was in the past at all, because in the past I used the past before that as a reason to be a bad person, as a reason to steal, to do wrong things, to fail school, you know, to be an ass. But between my 10th grade and 12th grade, I lived in a very bad trailer park, in a horrible trailer park. I've seen a lot of things in there itself. Outside of my family, I've seen fights, drugs sold, people abusing drugs, people passing out from drugs, running from cops, and the same, you know. And then the friends I had back then too. There's a reason I don't have them now. I'm just gonna say that. There's a reason a lot of my friends in the past I don't have now. I do have some friends actually. I do. My friends Kevin and his whole family. They always hold a really big spot in my heart. Cause they're still my best friends to this day. I talk to them all the time. I play the game with them all the time. They're still the people I'm probably most close to this day.